For this project, we're going to be working with another class that is studying biomes. So that additional class created packets for 6 different biomes, and I have 6 groups in my classroom. So this one is Rocky Desert, and they did some pre-work with writing about the aspects of a biome and the facts, like temperature ranges, so we understand the kind of tiny home or outpost that a scientist might use in that particular environment. Precipitation, that helps us understand what we need for a roof and possibly insulation. The seasons and how they can affect the place, the biotic components, so the different animals that might be around that you might need to take into consideration as you create your building, the water resources, the energy resources, water resources, and then some helpful hints that the group wanted to give us, and then some photographs of the biome so we understand, what the environment might look like and where our tiny home or tiny outpost would need to be. So this is going to be the Rocky Desert, so we need to design something that could be put on an incline or over rocks, but yet not disrupt the biome and the life there. So the idea of these tiny homes or tiny outposts is that it fits into the environment and that it does not disturb anything in the environment. Like, we wouldn't want to dig a trench because then animals couldn't pass by there. We need to consider that whatever we put there shouldn't alter the lives of the animals that the scientist who would be using the outpost might need to observe. So I printed this out for my students to see some architectural drawings of tiny homes, and we're working with the idea of doing something that is about 600 square feet. Anything larger than that, and it's more of a standard home size. So we are doing sketches on just plain copy paper, and then we're bringing that over to grid paper. We figured that about half a page of grid paper is about 600 squares, or about 600 square feet. So 1 square equals 1 square foot. We also happen to have tiles in our room on the floor that are 1 by 1 foot, so that can help us see the scale of things. So if it's about half a page, they could design something kind of long that's half a page, or circular that's about half a page. We found that 26 squares across was good if you wanted a circular building, 28 squares if it was going to be an octagon, and about 30 squares across if it was going to be a hexagon. Otherwise, we'll need to make some adjustments. Now, I'm not requiring students actually count the squares to make sure we have no more than 600, but if we understand that it should be about half a page of area, we should be good. So I'm going to add an extra video that will show me going through the process of creating a tiny home that would fit into the Rocky Desert biome based on this packet given to us by the other class as we create this project-based learning experience. So this is my explanation for my design for the Rocky Desert biome outpost. So I decided to build mine into the rock side so that the scientist who would be living here could study the life forms and the environment. And I decided to do it in 2 parts. So this part would be where any water facilities would be. So that would be kitchen and bathroom. And there'd be a small place to eat. And then the upper one would be for sleeping and studying. So this would be the bedroom area. Outside, we'd create a compost pit and use a composting toilet in the lower part. Now, the reason to put all the water facilities in the lower part is that we can catch rainwater off of the solar panels that would go to the lower one, and then we could catch additional water in the lower one if we needed to refill the water facilities. So in my design, we would be accessing the units by rope ladder or ladders, and we would enter the first part here. There's a small kitchen table, storage area, fridge, and a small kitchenette, probably like you would see in a trailer home, and then a bathroom with, decent facilities. So we've got our toilet, sink, and shower, and one window over the sink just to let in some light into that space so we don't need to electrify it. Same thing over this window here is really to provide light for this area. It's not really for observation, although you could use this kitchen table for observations outside. However, the windows in the upper part are much larger for observation, so we could look north, south, east, and west, going uphill, downhill, or out into the valley. A large workstation that takes up 2 walls and a bed over to the opposite side. And there's room enough to make an even larger bed if you wanted to, and room for a table if you wanted to in this particular space. There would need to be some decking between so that you could access both parts. And again, there's solar on the roof of both of these, and the water catch system for this roof goes to a water basin in this particular building. And the compost field could be used to grow stuff if you wanted to, but the idea is to kind of keep it minimal, to have minimal impact on the environment. And I've raised up the home because it's got an uneven ground. Instead of digging a pit or flattening out anything, I think it's better to just sort of build it up off of the surface of the hill. Because it's rocky, it should be pretty solid. So that would be my design for a rocky desert biome home or outpost for a single scientist to work out of for an extended period of time.